Well, the cats are good. Getting them adopted. I got three of them adopted, and one is going today. That's not the issue. Yeah. Cause they're sweet cats and everything. The I have an issue with. I received a letter from welfare. Do you know if I'm still work exempt according to you? If you still what? Work exempt. What does that mean? Like, am I legally exempt from work? Cause I got a letter that said that I have to participate in a We Care program. Are you part of the We Care program? I do not know this. No. You don't know what that is? Cause okay, would you mind talking to somebody about it? Cause I could tell you right now, I will feel violently ill if I have to go outside myself and participate in a work-related program. Because I've told you many times, there are people stalking me, and I'm barely handling just surviving this. You see, this is, I'm not sure if, like, where and what am I not bringing correctly. It is a mental health clinic that I'm working to. I am not arranging any appointments for clients. I'm not holding their accessorize their doctors, their schools. I don't do any of that. All I do is one-on-one sessions with clients. That is it. Okay, and if it's well, minors and I'm talking to their family members, it's supposed to be a minor client with a family member who wants to participate in collateral sessions. That's it. I don't do anything other than that. Okay, because the thing is, I'm trying to get them to call me back right now, and I spent all morning, like 2 hours practically, waiting for them to pick up the phone. Now I'm supposed to get a call back. They're not calling me back right now to discuss the issue with them. What I can tell you is that there is no way I'm functional to participate in this program. I will have a panic attack, or I will sit there and point the finger at them and call them all FBI agents or something else with no evidence to support this fact, because I've had plenty of evidence to support the fact that some people are indeed FBI agents, or at least somebody on my behalf should have gathered this evidence, including the police. And I spoke to two police officers from local PS2 today. They have me on their body cam. I did let them know that the local store was poisoning their food, and that my neighbors are also FBI agents. I did let the officers from PS2 know. It was like Officer Singh and Officer somebody else. They had me on body cam. I'm pretty sure they were trying to make me into a crazy person, but they walked away from the situation. I don't know what their regard is for all of this. Likewise, I am not. I have no desire to lose my child, to lose, guardianship or custody or whatever. But my friend is here today, and today just feels like the moment to say something to you. Um, you've been involved so long, and I've told you so much. I even suspect you, you know, of being involved in this, and it's a big, big conspiracy, and it's very traumatizing and damaging, because I do know the extent of how many people are indeed FBI, and they're not accountable for, because the FBI is not a transparent agency, and more people get called in to judge me, but they are so inept at it, and nobody wants to prioritize an investigation which says these people don't belong living here, and the food has been tampered with, and that for certain makes me very disturbed. Well, and I do have my friend here today. He's not diagnosed with anything, and if you were to call authority on me, it should be like, and you wanted to look in kindness, that you're not really hurting like my kid or whatever. Today would be the day, because I really think kids, like, if my authority is going to be questioned because of this conspiracy, it still would not look good if it was brash, because all of this seems unjust to me,
because it's not above their pay grade to say, well, excuse me, this food looks tampered with, and this situation does look suspect, and we've overheard your neighbors through our own microphones, and we've been on your internet. We know the proxies that it goes through, and we no longer trust this group of so-called FBI agents. They seem like they're harassing me. I wish somebody would do that on my behalf, as
Okay,
opposed to try to run me through the system.
to demystify a few things that you said, I mentioned this repeatedly. Unless you want me to call authorities on you, or unless you think you're a danger to yourself or your son, I cannot call anyone on you because you're an adult. If you would want to call somebody, this would be for you to call.
Well, thank you for that. But I don't. I know that he, you know, I know that this neighborhood is hostile towards us. I know a lot of people are involved in this conspiracy, and I know he wouldn't be safe attending this public school without, this situation being resolved and the target being removed from us. So that is not going to happen as per, people planning that sort of thing. And right now, what I could tell you is I am not capable of work if, you know, I'm just not gonna do it. Like, I will end up eating from the trash can, or I will end up yelling at these people, which will result in a psychiatric emergency, they will call that, because, truly, this is injustice.
What's the obstacle for working? Why are you so against the idea of
People are stalking me and poisoning my food. And I told this to PS2 too, and they looked like they were about to call the bug police on me, to send the men in the lab coats, and I live with this thought like every day, and it also makes me dysfunctional, you know. But they did not. They walked away, and there was previously like a pair of police officers. It wasn't. They came here on an unrelatable call, right? But they did have me on body cam because I know when the body cam's flashing red, that it's being recorded. So if they were looking for something that they could say that, it just further justified, a brawl from them or whatnot, and that just didn't happen because I was just using my speech and what intelligence I do have to communicate. um, they just walked off. So they're neither addressing this issue, nor are they really like beating on me for it. It's more like a slow decay, like a slow moral decay.
I will raise my hand.
Similarly, like you.
I will raise my hand, but I will need to stop and just get some more clarification.
Okay,
Please start
sir.
from the beginning. So, when did you receive this letter that you need to attend this work-related event, and when did you talk to those officers? Is this two connected?
No, it's not connected. I'm telling you, I had a week, so it totally justifies my, not feeling well. Who that would feel all right if their food is being poisoned and they're being stalked, like on straight up on the streets, and all their complaints are being ignored. The letter, I'm not sure when I received it, but I'm not due for this till June 17th. But these people are notoriously difficult to contact because, again, amongst even those, it's turning into politics. And if my private information was exposed, they could be playing head games. And this is all very, very unnerving. I'm retaining this because, like, again, I didn't sleep that well. I think they woke me up on purpose. Like, my neighbors woke me up on purpose. But I think that I could take a nap right now or something like that. And I don't know what function you can expect from me. I'm doing the best I can. I've actually told you this. Like, and my son somewhat fell behind again because they did put a virus in the milk. And it's not that no one's listening. I can guarantee you that. It's just that I may not have the legal evidence of this, but it's not that nobody suspects that they're capable of this anymore because Um, I've been here so long, and I do have social integrity.
No, with this job thing, what is your fear? Look, you are of legible age. You don't have any disabilities. People do check in probably.
I will get into a fight with someone, or I will collapse from exhaustion, and it's not possible. It's just not possible.
Explain to me why. There are eligible adults without disability that are not working.
And you're not serious. And I'm telling you right now, I feel like you're suspect in this conspiracy as well, because it's not that I desire this extreme. It's just that I feel like, you know what, you're not a robot, and I'm not sure who trained you for what, but for you to like drag me through the mud like this, it's like you kind of go back and forth between let's medicate her or let's get her a job. You really want to like destroy my mind, you know?
I became the person who makes those decisions. You're telling me what's happening with you. I do not know this without you telling me. And in this conversation, I'm asking you some logical questions. And you're generalizing all of it and putting me in the middle of it. I understand that this is called.
Because I'm angry and I'm depressed, and there are people stalking me, and there are people poisoning my food, and I don't understand how I couldn't even function. You know, I barely get through my day. I'm sick all the time. You know, I don't I don't understand. And it's like you're suspect to me because you're so driven for some sort of development that's going to lead to action to, again, absolve you from caring that I'm telling you this. And it's,
Ilona, transferring everything all of it, you are allowed to think.
I'm not transferring everything to you. I'm just talking to you because,
No, but saying things that I'm driven.
you know, similarly like my neighbors, because they do have personas here with like what, fake social security numbers. I don't know how people work it, you know, that are traceable. And you know, I feel like today is like not their day, maybe, because in fact, even if it wasn't my day, it's gotten to the point where I don't care. I'm not going to drag my kid through the mud. I'm not going to drag myself through the mud. If you want to destroy me, you will do it. I will not go willingly.
To go where? To the mud? What is
To the mud, to this employment office where they are disturbingly like coordinated with the people that attend and the people that work there. Every time I show up, they are stalking me. They have information on me that they shouldn't have, private information. They'll pretend, like they'll do like a cat call or a mumble and pretend it was a private conversation, when in fact I know they're trying to get a rise out of me. You know, and this on top of the fact that I don't know what the hell they're putting in my food, it makes me very, very depressed and at times disturbed. The best I could do is depressed because my son is still here, which gives me hope. And my friends are still here to listen to me, which also gives me hope that they're suspecting this situation. We can resolve it not by abusing Ilona, but by pointing the finger at the real criminals.
I'm concerned that you're connecting depression and dysfunction, yet you're still functioning.
What is my function exactly? Like how am I functioning? I'm sick practically every week. You know, but it's not because, you know, it's not because I don't take care of myself. It's not because I don't try to take care of myself. It's because these people are trying to destroy my life. And nobody hears that. Yes, some people hear that. And if you coordinate, if you have enough people that coordinate like this in a manner to make themselves look shiny and like they participated in some sort of FBI action, it's called a conspiracy. Especially when it involves children, it involves food being poisoned and fraud.
I will pause your train of thoughts here just to say that I don't really like those generalizations and using you coordinating. I do not coordinate nothing. I have 10 to 12 sessions a day, and if you think I coordinate anything, then we really have a problem here.
Well, the thing is, I told you that even last week. If they do find out that you have an alter ego that's you physically present, like in your physical body, if you have a not alter ego, excuse me, a persona, and I'm not gonna say non grata because you two get paid, and they're off somewhere collecting for being an FBI agent. That's gonna get resolved, isn't it? So that would be your MO, no?
I do not understand how is this you and them? How I become one with this function, with this theory?
Well,
How-
why do I feel like this is a suspect situation? Because I never expect someone to be so casual about somebody telling them that they're being stalked and poisoned. It's almost like you're driven to maintain me, but in a subdued state so you could milk me for money. And this is the way that I feel. It's not because I'm lazy, trust me.
You are an adult that is free to win decisions for yourself. If you say to me that you are depressed, what were you doing to become less depressed lately? What are the steps that you can line up?
People stop me though. People stop me. I know I'm better than these people. I sometimes get lonely, and that makes me very depressed. But I've seen people come out on the internet, and it's almost like in grieving, and they are fighting injustice. And this injustice.
This is, I will stop you because this is not answering my question.
Well, what was? Can you be more direct?
I'm asking you, what do you do to be less depressed? And you talking
Like
about
physically, like what do I do?
what do you do?
I try to play piano. I try to read a book. I try to ignore them. But it's like impossible when they're in your food and they're in your home, and I can't even lock my keys and feel safe like that. I can't leave my door locked because when I come back, what if my $300 vacuum cleaner is broken? Now, and I did call the police on that as well.
Depression lasts more than 4 weeks. We're talking about clinical depression, and it is recommended to have medication, otherwise the person will not be able to come back to the basic level of functioning. But those decisions person can only take themselves. So whenever, look, I can give it to you straightforward.
So again, like we're back to why I suspect you, because you're throwing me in between these two, like super, like again extremes. Either I need to be medicated or I need to wise up, count my head, and what do I do? Because these people don't want me to have a job. I would love to have like a real job, but these people don't want me to have a job. Why? Also, the casualty about like I would expect someone to think I'm extremely paranoid. Someone in your social position. This is why I suspect that you may be yourself an investigator. Are you an investigator? Should I?
In order to be diagnosed with paranoidal anything, in order to be diagnosed with everything you mentioned, you have to go through diagnosis.
I don't want to go through diagnosis. I want you to own up as an FBI agent and say, wait a minute, suspect situation.
Talking about here? If you're putting those labels without knowing any factual information, what are we talking about?
Okay, tell me something. Because it's like, okay, I don't want to be diagnosed. I want an FBI agent to come. Because it's not paranoia, because it's real. Because it's not paranoia, it's real. It's really FBI agents. It's real. It's real because it's not paranoia. Maybe this is the reason why the PS2 didn't say, oh, psychiatric emergency. Because, again, like, I'm talking more voraciously, like, at you. I don't know, because you sort of make me, like, a little bit, agitated than I was at them, but I was basically saying the same thing, and they could have grabbed me and said, paranoia, paranoia. Not like that never happened before. But they have, they probably know, that I have friends that'll say, bullfrogs, it's not paranoia. It's really like.
Ilona, again, back to the basics. You cannot put this responsibility on some police officers that you're talking to for 2 minutes.
Oh, I surely can.
It's supposed to be diagnosed.
No, because it's not paranoia. So it's either So the FBI doesn't exist. We're not having problems with these fraud issues.
FBI. I'm talking that you're putting labels on people. You're thinking that I'm working with somebody or
I
I'm
am
able
not.
to do something for you because you're telling me.
I would not have
Evidence us to that. I'm just telling you what I suspect because I feel like I'm an intelligent woman.
If you feel that you need help from authorities, they are not mental health clinic. You have to
This is the way. I'm
Sorry, can I pause you for just 1 second? The way I feel about authorities, okay, legit, they're behaving in that manner that police are generally expected to behave if we're to uphold our freedoms. But somebody needs to have investigative powers. You know, this dipshit FBI, all they do is harass me, even the ones that aren't immediately involved in trying to destroy my life. And the police is sort of like outnumbered by them. So it's like lax now. They are not going to say I'm paranoid apparently, and they only wait for like a physical altercation. What's wrong with people? I don't want it to come to that. I don't want to get my ass kicked, and I don't want to hurt anybody. But how would you feel if somebody was poisoning your food and stalking you, and then you all your information? Another legit thing I could tell you that you're gonna use this against what you're trying to say. Oh, sorry.
I'm trying to say that when you talk poisoning, don't you think if someone would want to poison you, they would finish the mission? You are not a difficult target. You don't live in a house in a mansion surrounded by multiple security guards. It will be easy for them to finish this mission. If they would aim to poison you, if people would want to poison, this would happen. And without any legitimate proofs of it, it's also just words.
Can I talk now?
Like I said before, they're trying to milk the situation. They don't want to lose social integrity because it's such an in-depth conspiracy. They're looking out for their friends, and they want to kind of wash it over, either through stature of the law, or by moving people around and losing paperwork, or by me losing social integrity by being a lunatic, which easily I feel like one. I feel like one,
I know I'm not.
but I feel like one.
I don't feel like
Healthy, and
I don't appreciate
these people with their now you got to take care of this paper, now you got to take care of this paperwork, because even before when I lived in New Jersey, they were stealing my paperwork. These people, they don't want this system they propose to
I
work.
did not know that you lived in New Jersey. When did you live in New Jersey?
a while back. I don't.
Remember what years?
Was it like, was it Patrick?
No.
It
Even
was before Patrick. It was before Patrick.
So, why'd you move back to New York? What brought you here?
homelessness.
So in New Jersey, something didn't go well, and you just
Basically, because
I had a friend here, and they had an apartment, and I didn't have anywhere to go.
Also with friends, it's a very strong word. It's not to have support system. But you said something earlier that my friends are not diagnosed with anything. A lot of people are diagnosed, just so you know. Not to put shade on anything, just as a mental health professional, I gotta tell you, some people aren't diagnosed because until they go to the clinic, same as with you talking about paranoia, until someone comes to me and tells me, hey, I need it, I won't just go around and spread those diagnoses on people. Just saying. Same with everything like this, because America, maybe we talk about country, it provides us freedoms, but it also brings us responsibility to do those things, to talk to people. Because, say, homelessness brought you back to New York, you were able probably to do some research on systems, on shelters. I know there are a bunch of women's shelters, say, in East Harlem. But people come in there. They don't go and search for people on the streets. They come in. That's the point.
I've been in homeless shelters
before.
Have you been around East Harlem? Because
I've been around East Harlem.
Harlem, and I've been
Oh my God, I don't even.
remember. I think it was some weird part of Brooklyn or the Bronx or something. If I look at a map, I'll probably remember it.
But I've been in.
in like a couple of homeless shelters.
But if you went there, you ended up finding out those informations from somebody, and you went there. They didn't copy.
Well, not.
Not really. I didn't like go there. I just didn't have anywhere to go, and it was cold and it was raining.
I didn't see you like it. I said you did it. You made this action.
I'm not sure if like.
I would repeat this action again because I feel like this whole system is sort of permeated with people that just want to stalk people and get off on that, and sometimes it's being less than helpful. So, and then it's like a toss up because then there's also like sick in the head FBI agents that'll say, "Oh, I'll be like your rescue person, I'll be your boyfriend or something," and then they'll like knock you up and put you back in that same system, and not realizing that it's not like the 90s. And also from my perspective, they do have like a racial outlook on things. People are more apt to help minorities, and I am not one. So it's more judgmental. Like, I did come from a middle class home, but did you know why is this the only thing you should be looking at? Like, you know
Also, language. Did you say you end up being knocked up? It's a responsibility. A, women can use contraception, but they need to be educated on it. B, if women are having medical
I feel like
I don't want to fight you on this. I'm sorry. Can I pause you a little bit? But I feel like when it's systemically implemented, this education, it falls short of realizing the reality that some of these people are mired in. I feel like they should educate once in a while before everybody gets angry at me, but I'm going to say it, like the preconception. How about not putting yourself in that situation where you're out there? Exactly. And it's gotten so bad that a lot of people are like disturbingly just throwing pills and nonsense terminology at people, and they're not very intelligent. They've been sheltered because what? Because they're compliant.
and then
Should you put the fear of like reality on them, um, they'll be like, no, I actually don't have faith in this system, because the same people that like people should practice what they preach, is what I'm saying.
for sure, for sure. And you see, I'm concerned that there is something that we're not addressing.
yeah, there is. Can I ask?
Something, interrupt you real quick? Like, how would you feel though if all your information was out there? Like, somebody again took my phone and they shut it off. And they shut it off just as I was making like important phone calls.
Give me more details. How?
SafeLink Wireless, I told you, I should write to the FCC also about this, about the identity theft, and I think I will because I think that's like the only agency that I haven't touched on this. Because again, my depression, I get depressed, and I can't. It's like part depression, part physically. I'm too tired to like go and fill out another application when really I get like um mild interest in my situation, but none of it's official. It's mostly emotional, and that also leads me to be like emotionally aroused, and it's sort of like in this like system where everybody's got their eye on me and judging me. It's sort of not doing me any good, but I don't want to be dismissed either. So thank you for not dismissing me as a crazy person, I guess, because you know
Language. I don't treat you like a crazy person. I don't like those labels. No,
Exactly,
seriously,
but
I really don't understand like what's going on here. Like, why is the police? Why are they all listening to this crazy garbage? They sit there. Some of them, I see them from across the street enough. They have microphones. They could sit there. Maybe those weren't. It's all like about legal jurisdiction now. But they could sit there and record my neighbors harassing me. They could also follow some people home if they're incapable of pulling a payroll that just blatantly says, "Oh, excuse me, are you the same person that's here in ghetto apartment that's meant for people like Ilona, and the same person with the mortgage bill?" They could do that, but nobody does that. Why? Because it's like there's
either out of fear.
there's more of these people, or nobody pities me because I'm smart. But I'm smart doesn't mean like I don't get hurt. I get hurt like all the time, you know?
Do you see how this like thinking is going up and down? Like maybe it's very, very bad. Maybe they're listening, but also maybe I'm smart and they just not thinking
No,
that I'm smart. It's all over the place.
I know they know.
know I'm smart. That's the problem. It pisses some people off. Some people want to egg me on, but um,
I don't even know what to say.
like, cause I've been to this like this welfare center too, and I took my friend again, since we're not talking about paranoia. And anyway, I'm not paranoid, even if you label me this. So I will talk about it. My friend went there with me. He totally suspects that they're FBI agents. Why doesn't he rat? Like, why should they be sitting there? They're always instigating some garbage, ends up on the news, and it's like when they present it on the news, it comes out in like half truths, and I just feel freaking gross, like about everything. Like same thing. You were talking about East Harlem. That sort of triggered me. I remember there was a case. I think I talked to you about this last time. That
This family.
family, they had bed bugs for 10 years, like disgusting, and then they finally.
Also, okay, hold on. See, when people are emotionally intense, this is intensity right now. It's everything is coming to the same kind of
Like,
storage.
It's the same thing.
Because somebody has my keys and they use them.
Hold on. 10 years of bed bugs. Where you read about it? I don't
Newspaper.
believe it's true. I don't believe it's true. I respect.
Me neither. That's
That's
what.
what I'm saying. Because you'd have to be very dirty to have bed bugs for 10 years. And I'm smart enough to for you to consider that I have a functional mind. It must be
Real what she's saying.
or at least
I don't truly believe it. I live in a multicultural, multi-international building with different kind of people, and I'm sure that some of them are clean and some of them are not. But if there is a thing, first of all, buildings, as soon as you're moving in, you probably have this in your building too.
I believe it. Can I?
interrupt you. Can I interrupt you for 1 second? Because I don't want to be labeled as a racist. I believe in multiculturalism. Furthermore, I don't believe in a pyramid scheme of social climbing. We have moved away from that because we're a postmodern, post-industrial society. We're a modern society, and people can be entertainers. And entertainment could be anything. It could be using your imagination and the culture that you come from. I understand that some of these minorities have a hard time in the white patriarchy, but I don't believe in them pulling rank in authority because what they needed money or they needed to flex on somebody, and this is like really disturbing.
Away from the topic, I was talking about the bed bug situation. Buildings are supposed to have exterminators monthly.
And this exterminate. We have.
Bed bugs for the longest time. You know how I got rid of them? I can't. I can't leave.
My door just locked.
There has to be somebody else in here watching my apartment. And
Same thing with the vacuum.
cleaners breaking and the things go missing because somebody has my keys, and it's not anybody that like I gave my keys to, because I didn't give my keys to anybody. They told me to change my keys. I changed my keys a million times.
Imagine I'm a magician. I have this like time thing. We go
A
in
time
5
machine.
years. Time machine, yes, time machine 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. Remember you told me at some point you were going outside, you were walking, but Patrick was little and stuff. So you were spending time outdoors. What was your life back then? Why was not those issues that bothered you, but you allowed yourself to walk outside when you're a little kiddo and I don't know, go to the playground, whatever. How come now this is the reality so intense? Back then,
No, like he does go.
So he went with my friend. He went out with my friend to like shows and stuff. We do go. I'm not gonna say nothing.
no, but when
Not
you
not.
told me that you were also doing this, when you would also take yourself outside, what changed from then to now? If we talk about
I felt the entire.
Entirety of their hostility. Me being mindlessly gullible, I thought these people would, just
Eventually.
give up and say, "Oh, well, you're welcome. You're a decent person." But I think they were too invested in their money scheme, laundering conspiracy, that they just could not give up. And now that they're caught, it's even more of like a danger to me. So I don't even know. But I don't know. They're not telling me they're caught. So
And it's. I'm not saying.
everybody's hostile, but I I hope every day. I think that, you know what, at least I had people witness this, and even if they never come forward with it, that information will be on their in their hearts, like, and on their minds, because mind and body are one.
They are. But like, when if I do the timeline thing, because I'm trying to unwrap this, when it started becoming so obvious that you were followed, that your food is being poisoned, when was the
To
first time you
me,
got conclusion?
Or
You realized that it's not a
the
coincidence?
reason that I started
talking about it is, it could be like,
obvious to
to me, but I, as an intelligent person who does not want to lose social integrity, would
look for
evidence that I could present to at least a friend. Being that I have so few of them, it took me a while to get my friends interested, to
and to make
new friends that just weren't
weren't in the same goals as these people.
because there is a real FBI, and they should not be putting quotas out like this on, like, people, because people could be like crazy about their money, sure, about their security, for sure, but like,
There wasn't really
a point in time that I can say for sure, but I noticed that, like, during certain times of the day, I don't know how long you're gonna observe this for or whatnot, because also I, like, I don't feel comfortable, like, I don't want to be hospitalized or anything like that.
Oh no, and I will pause you here, not stop, but pause you.
Oh,
This
because
is
we've been
probably what it will coming to us eventually. Because if there is no
if the police don't help.
Me exactly, I don't know what to say. Listen, I was gonna tell you though, straight up, because I go to a store, and, like, usually the store does not have a rush hour at this time. People do, or supposedly do, have real jobs, or like on the train, there is no rush hour at this time that I'm on the train. And yet there's like a million people, and they'll crowd around me, like literally in the car that I'm in. Like, if you're riding in the train, they'll get in the car that I'm in, or they'll all go to the store that I'm in.
it's not being substituted.
I know, but why?
Why do they follow me around? Or like, I had people, there's some of them are so rude. They'll just like block my way, and then they're saying like, oh, this is like, we're just a family or whatever. Okay, like, I don't know what their take was, that like I have like a nonconformist look about me, or that I'm white, or I'm single or something, and they're not. But it's not exemplary of them as human beings, and that depresses my soul. You know, I wish somebody would like have faith in like real America, and really, this is disturbing that God, I wrote the FDA too, and they need to send somebody to check this out. Even though it's New York, even though it's
When
New
you're
York.
saying they put me in this card or they give me this card, you can try to walk
What card?
like when the train arrives, card on the train.
Oh, no! I'm
Saying, if I go to a different car, there'll be more people in that other car. It's
There are people everywhere. Look, there are people everywhere. It's
no,
just
but
if you
10:30 a.m.
if you had like a sky view of the situation, I guarantee the traffic is pulling around Ilona. It's really strange. Or like, what about the time of day? Like, the time of day it is. The thing is, you're expecting me to convince you of this, or sound intelligent enough and plausible enough for you to. Do you have FBI friends that could investigate this? Because I know that they have the capabilities. It's just that I'm like unloved, and even if that is like the only thing and the last thing I say, um, it's still food for thought, and food is food, and it will make somebody sick if somebody poisons it.
the official.
FBI, I'm sorry, because I know we stayed on so long, but it's just been a time. The official FBI, what they say. Oh, and what I said, the last thing that I said to the police, I need a witness to corroborate. But I'm at a loss because my 11-year-old son got so accommodated, like so used to things the way they are. I don't know what he'll say, but eventually he will wise up. And my only friend, maybe he's scared that he'll lose his job if he says something. You know, a lot of people are scared that they'll be outed and lose their job.
Two things here. First of all, yes, you are right in the state of work, but I see the time. I'm on it, and I do have a 1:30 today, so I will need to jump off like in a couple of minutes. But firstly, we will need to talk at some point about Patrick, about how you see his future, how you see him like socializing, what is he's interested in.
That's why I wanted to confront you.
Today, because today I have my friend with me because I don't want him in the hands of strangers if it comes down to a confrontation, you know. But it's almost like people are sort of like trying to wait for their goal time to have a confrontation with me to again make me lose social integrity, and that's not going to happen. I think I could like hold my shit, you know.
So to speak.
Look, I hope that by next week we'll have some more answers to this situation.
I might call your.
The office, I don't know if you're going to be available. I might ask for you because of the situation with the welfare, you know.
But we cannot do nothing with the welfare. See, it's a mental health clinic. We do nothing.
No, I know, but
I looked up their rules and they said if you are like I'm gonna talk to them first, see what the hell they want, and then I'll talk to you. Okay? Because
Hold on. Officially, your diagnosis from 2015, which is outdated in 2016, sounds like unspecified anxiety disorder and unspecified depression disorder. With that, it's not a legitimate reason to not get a job. That's all I can tell you. Like, I can't.
well, legit, are you?
trying to escalate the situation to like a panic attack or violence, because I'm certain the people that are corroborating with you are.
Even with panic attacks.
Because you're still denying what I'm.
Saying, and you know what? It's hard to gather information on just streetwalkers. But say I did have some police friends, and they do know like you are here and my neighbors are here.
Elon, the fact that I'm giving you factual information is not that I'm denying what you're telling me. I'm giving you the fact that I operate with. Your diagnosis is still the same since 2015, which has been 11 years.
So you do know about this. So
So it's not enough to be work exempt this year.
No, I don't know what is the work exam at all. I'm just saying that we don't deal with work exams or with HRA or with social.
okay, so I just figured.
Figured that I would speak with them first because I'm not a panicky person, and if I do have a panic attack, it's surely because people are stalking me.
You know? Because legit, also.
This is very driven of me. How am I gonna get like money for them to steal from me, or how am I gonna buy food for them to poison? You know, I feel like it's so destructive of them for the entire system. It would be really, really nice if somebody powerful took me out, for instance, instead of all these people that are very, very bad and very, very evil.
Yeah, you see, I'm just sitting here and shaking my head because I don't
Because
know
you have
what
to
else
go?
add. Because I am just.
I don't know either
Because they haven't called me back yet. I don't have any information on that. And I actually lost like faith in you being nice to me. I don't even know like why we're doing this.
Well, then my final statement is not going to be helpful because I wanted to let you know next week we're meeting up as usual, but the week after that, for the end of February, because February is a short month, actually, I'm going to be out. So on the 19th and 26th, I'm going to be out.
How long?
Consider if you would want to speak to somebody else while I'm away or not.
I don't know, maybe. Can I?
tell you next week?
Sure, yeah. But next week we're meeting up as per usual on your Wednesday time because I had the training and I was on the waiting list. So they notified me in the morning, and of course I said yes, please, can I? And I was contacting clients that were scheduled in the same day just to let them know. So that was it. Not more, not less than this.
Okay, so I'll let you know next.
Week better.
Okay, I'll see you next Wednesday. I have to get off this session now. Thank you for this talk. It was heated discussion, but you know it was discussion. I'm glad you.
I don't
Understand why this is like so casual. You know, I'm still hoping that you know somebody will really resolve this.
But somebody will not be me.
Oh
I will
boy.
not be the
Oh boy. Okay. Take care.